Thanks for watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified of each new video as it comes out. Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. And so this will be part 3 of the Minuteman militia gear, line gear kind of stuff video. As with the other videos, I just want to say real quick that the idea behind, I believe the idea behind owning this kind of gear is for the defense of your home, the defense of your community, the defense of your family. Not offensive, like, we're going to go take care of some tyranny stuff, bro, and to go on long-range recon missions and all that kind of stuff. I don't really think that's it for most people. I think for the common person, if you own an AR-15, an AK-47, an AR-10, whatever the case may be, you ought to have this stuff too, because it's part of what goes with it. And it's part of what helps ensure your survivability, or at least increase your survivability. Not ensure it, but increase it, so that you come back to your family. You know, having an AR-15 and planning to use it in any kind of civil unrest or anything like that, and not having good body armor with it, it's a little bit like, you know, just wishing for a quick death. I mean, you're just not giving yourself the protective equipment that you really should have. And so, to me, if you've got one AR and you're wanting to buy another one, I wouldn't buy another one until you got a good set of plates and a plate carrier and a helmet. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Okay, so helmet. We're going to talk a little bit about the helmet on another video. I'm going to talk a little bit about it and how to get the earmuffs on there and all that kind of jazz. But this is just it's a basic ballistic high cut helmet from Highcom Security, I think. And I did a video on it a long time ago, but I've made a few different changes and upgrades with putting the pelter, you know, hearing in there. Okay, but we'll talk about that one a little bit more in depth later. As far as the plate carrier goes, what I have in here, I don't know if you can, I mean, obviously you can't really tell, but this whole thing weighs probably 10 pounds, I'm guessing, with the fully loaded magazines. I don't know exactly, but it's somewhere close to that. And the reason for that is because I have the poly plates in here. And, I mean, you can see these things weigh, I don't know, a pound, maybe 2, less than a pound. They are level 3 plates, and I got them from, where was it? I think they're called Alpha Core, but I think I got it from Safeguard Body Armor. I think that's where I got it. Safeguard.com or safeguardarmor.com, something like that. I'll put a link in here. Anyhow, these plates are really expensive. They're level 3, so they'll stop up to, like, I think it's 4 shots of .308 within 4 inches of each other or something along those lines. But I got them because I got a bad back, and carrying around 16 pounds worth of, you know, just plates alone, you know, I think the ESAPI plates are like 8 pounds each or something. It's just not realistic for me. So I went with the light plates. Now the thing with those plates is they, in order to get that full protection, you are supposed to wear it with a soft vest, a level 3A vest. So that's the system. That's what I have, and that's why that's also incorporated into my system. But anyway, the plate carrier itself is a Condor Operator 2, and I know a lot of people don't like Condor, but it's fine. The one thing I will say with Condor is that the consistency on some of the outside edges of the PALS webbing is not that great. Like, this one is not even close to being a full, you know, inch wide, and it was the same on the other side. So getting some of the pouches in there, you know, could be kind of hard sometimes, and like I had to end up pulling some stitches out in a couple places. No big deal, but it is what it is. Okay, so I've got radio pouch over here for the radio, and that can also double as an additional magazine pouch. You know, if for whatever reason, I also have the 16-inch antennas. I'll show you that on the other video when I talk about comms. But as you can see, we can also throw in, you know, another mag there if we need to. Next thing, cat tourniquet underneath here, and then we've got 3 rifle mags. So my basic mag loadout is 7 magazines, and you know, for defense of your neighborhood and your home and all that kind of thing, if you're going through 7 magazines, that's a pretty significant encounter. You know, you're in this kind of setting, in that kind of setting, defending your home and your community and that kind of thing, you know, in what I'm picturing in my head, and kind of like I've described in a lot of the past videos, you know, you're closing off access to your neighborhood with roadblocks and checkpoints and things like that, and you should hopefully be in a position of advantage, and operating from a position of strength, certainly. And so, you know, if you're working with a couple other people on this roadblock and all that kind of stuff, and you all have a similar loadout, that's going to be a pretty significant amount of firepower. So, could you carry more? Sure. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. In my line 3 pack, I'll definitely have some extra magazines and stuff. But you know, what I'm carrying on me, to me, 7 is more than sufficient. So, then over here we've just got 2 pistol magazines. You know, that fit the M&P, and then I also have a light up here. This is the first light, and it also has red and then a low illumination mode as well, and so, you know, and then a momentary as well. The cool thing I like about this is the mounting feature of it. So it'll allow me to, if you picture this on my shoulders, it'll allow me to have the light on, and to point this wherever I want, and hands free, I can still have that light. So it's kind of like a headlamp, but it just goes right there on the shoulder. It's not necessarily the most ideal for having to shoot with left hand. You can still do it. It can be somewhat in the way. I'm primarily a right-handed shooter though, so I'm not really going to be too concerned about it, and I can also pop it off there. It's just a tech lock. I can pop it off fairly quickly if I need to, so no big deal. Then over here, as you can see, we've just got a Camelback routed through here, and then we've got the CRKT Plan B. And again, it's just a quick access, you know, kind of defensive style knife, in case someone is trying to grab my weapon or something, I need to grab something else. It's very small and very flat, and it lays kind of out of the way, and so it really doesn't, you know, get in my way too much or anything like that. You can still pull all these magazines out, you know, without any problem with all this stuff up here. So it's really not a concern. I will say that some people like to keep the front of their plate carrier totally slick, so that if you have to lay down prone, you can get lower. Nothing wrong with that, man. I don't have any issues with that. I don't personally do it, but again, it's because my thought process is that I'll be operating from a defensive position. So I'm probably already going to have cover and those kinds of, you know, shooting positions, defensive fighting positions, DFPs, and those kinds of things established to where I would be operating from. And so I hopefully am not going to need that. Now, maybe I'm wrong, who knows. Okay, and then the last thing I've got in here in the little admin map pouch, just pull that out real quick. We've got a little compass for, you know, navigations and layouts and those kinds of things, and planning, you know, planning purposes. We've got a set of shears, and then we have a backup set of earplugs as well. Trauma kit is inside underneath here, and I'm going to do a separate video showing you guys that and how I laid it out and what I have in it. and all that kind of stuff. It's up back behind the plate carrier. Focus Research is the first company that I saw that made these flat trauma kits like this, and that's where I got the idea to make the one that I made. And so it's a pretty cool design, so keep an eye out for that video. And if you're looking for one that will fit like that, that's made in that 10 by 12 space, it's only like a ½ an inch thick. You slide it right up under your plate carrier, and it's pretty cool. So again, look for that video here in the future. On the back, we have just a hydration pack, a 100-ounce hydration pack in here, and then that's routed up through the sleeve, and that's pretty much that. If we need to, we could change the location of the radio pouch and put that back here, you know. But like I said, I think for now this will be just fine like that, like it is, because again, it can double as an additional mag pouch if needed. So that's why I'm leaving that one there. So that's pretty much the basics on that. Let me see if I can think of anything else. The Condor Operator 2, I don't even know if they still make these anymore. I've had it for several years, and it works fine. I mean, it's pretty comfortable. You will notice that I don't have the cummerbund on it and the sides, and the reason that I don't is because if I have all that space, I'll start putting pouches on there, and when you do that, what ends up happening is if you're wearing a war belt in conjunction with the plate carrier, you start to get in the way of your draw. So I prefer to leave the sides open, you know, and leave them so that it's not conflicting with my war belt. The front of my war belt doesn't have anything on it, so there's no conflict between that stuff and this stuff here. So the two work pretty well together, and there's not, you know, really anything on the back here that would interfere with anything on the war belt as well. Riding in vehicles, you know, you want to probably only have your camelback like half full or so. If you have it totally full, it can be a little bit awkward and a little bit, you know, shifty or whatever. If it's like half or empty or more, it's really not a problem at all. So yeah, that's just something to consider if you're going to be doing vehicle operations and stuff like that. You don't want to have too much on the back because it can really kind of be a pain getting, you know, in and out of the vehicles, and especially for long car rides. So that is what we've got set up here. Can't really think of anything else to say about it. I will say that again, and I think I mentioned it earlier, it's really important to have plates. Whether you get AR-500 steel or an ESAPI, the old Army ESAPI plates, or the poly plates, doesn't matter to me. I mean, whatever. They're all going to work, but you should have some, okay? And that is just because survivability. If you want to be able to survive a gunfight, your chances of surviving it are much, much higher if you have a helmet and if you have armor. Okay, that's just reality, you know. So let's see, was there anything I wanted to talk about this? No, I think we'll save this little guy for a separate video here. So okay guys, that's pretty much it. Be curious to know what your guys' plate carrier is. If you have them out there, let me know in the comments below what you guys are carrying and which ones you like. There's a lot of different ones out there. I use a 511 at work, and it seems to be fine. It's like one of the rip away ones, you know, you can take off fairly quickly, I think. And I've used Paraclete, stuff like that in the military in the past. Yeah, there's been dragon skin, a lot of different kinds. For personal use ones, I think this little guy from Condor, it works fine. It's constructed well. It holds up. I've owned it for several years, and I've done quite a bit of training in it, and it does fine. So to me, I think it'll do good for you guys too. Anyhow, guys, as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to live the 6 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.